call the City of Milton Common Council meeting to order Tuesday, August 2nd, 2022 at 6 p.m. And can I get confirmation of appropriate meeting notice?
Meeting notice was posted on Friday, July 29th at Milton City Hall, Milton, Piggly Wiggly, and Hometown Ace Hardware.
And we have two alderpersons appearing by phone. Alderperson Bill Wilson and alderperson Eric Stockman, like they're probably in some really fancy, swanky place right now. And I hope, and we appreciate them making their appearances by phone. We certainly do.
I know how it is.
Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All those in favor? Was that an aye from Eric and Bill?
It was an aye for me. And an aye for me.
Okay, perfect. I could only hear one aye at a time because Larry keeps turning the mic on and off so you're totally dependent on his mic skills. You're doing great. All right. There's a motion to approve the agenda. Is there anyone opposed? Okay, we have the agenda. Pledge of Allegiance. Since Mark is doing such a wonderful dedication tonight, he volunteered to do the Pledge of Allegiance too. Okay, public comments regarding items which can be affected by council action. Presenters must sign in with the city clerk in order to speak. Go up to the microphone, first and last name and address. Is there anybody that wants to speak now? It's up to you. It's up to you. Okay, we'll wait till your item comes up. There's no perfect flow. We just bump our way along. Okay. And now we will go to our meeting dedication.
So there's nothing better after a hot summer day than an ice cream sandwich. Today, August 2nd, is National Ice Cream Sandwich Day. By some accounts, the first ice cream sandwich was sold on a push cart in New York City for 1 cent in the year 1900. I don't have a whole lot more than that. I was a little short notice, but apparently I missed the memo at the last meeting. But there are ice cream sandwiches in the freezer for anybody after the meeting.
Oh, we love that. And that sets the high pretty bar now that we have to bring the bar pretty high now that we have to bring snacks with our dedication. That's awesome. And we like the history attached to it and your creativity, and we appreciate that. We appreciate you, Mark.
Should I bring my peanut butter for your ice cream?
All right. Next item, approval of the consent agenda.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye. This is Bill, aye. This is Eric, aye.
That is unanimous. The consent agenda is approved. Anyone opposed? I didn't think so, as far as I could tell. All right. Item number 7, discussion and possible action regarding Milton Night Market application for special event permits. And Jenny will start us on this.
Okay, so Farmhouse Vines, Hattie and Elsie, and Sunny and Olive have requested a special event permit for the Milton Night Market. The next dates are August 19th and September 23rd. There is a road closure including on Parkview Drive from College Street to Greenman Street, along with the 600 block of College Street. The event will run from 3:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. And so the reason why this is on the agenda too, is because of the fact that it's a for-profit organization. So if any fees that are accrued need to be, they're requesting it to be waived. And then also it is a for-profit organization. And so that's the reason.
All right, comments?
So I'm Nikki Olson, 231 Parkview Drive, Milton, Wisconsin.
Kate Peterson, 650 College Street in Milton, Wisconsin.
Okay. All right. So a couple things. I just wanted to recap how the event went, and then I'll kind of get into my spiel real quick. So the event via drone footage and then head count, we had roughly like around 6,000 people attend. It was very, very busy. We were very grateful for the 3:30 suggestion because we needed all that time. It was very busy, and I saw a lot of faces that are here tonight that were there, and we appreciate the support. So moving on to the special event permit. So we had talked to the other three businesses on the other block of Parkview, the dental office, the Cove Bar, and even the bank, just because with increased traffic and talking to Bob, the president of the bank, Fridays are their busiest days. So we had talked with them and looked at the barricades again and looked at everything to make things flow and whatnot. And the drawing that I submitted is what we would like to do. We want to grow it, but we don't want to grow it too big. We really kind of want to keep it where we're at. Right now we have an addition. We have 83 vendors. When we did this last month, we had 56 plus 4 different food vendors. So right around 60 vendors. This next time we've already had 83 sign up, and that does not include probably an additional 6 or 7 food vendors. Because people made suggestions about our market last time. We didn't know we would have that many people come. So we didn't have enough food trucks for people to wait in line for, so we added that. We're really trying to make this a good event and a great turnout and safe and walkable and enjoyable for the community and other people that are not from the community that come here. I know it was brought up to me about the craft show and the pork barbecue that's happening that same weekend. We've actually been promoting it to promote like a very large weekend in Milton, not just like come to us on Friday, you know, because there's the winery. We had talked about the groundbreaking on Saturday for the new winery. And then on Sunday, the traditional pork roast and craft fair. So I believe Terry might have a table at the night market that Friday to promote the craft fair. And then we were working with Deb from the chamber as well. If she wanted to have like a little table to promote the pork barbecue, but we have been promoting it on our Facebook page as kind of like a 3-day weekend, a big event in Milton. Yeah, and all the businesses were on board with it. The dentist, the bank, and the bar, they all fully supported it. The bar even loved it because she actually had more customers come in from it. And they actually, the overflow from people that didn't want to wait in the line actually bought food from her. So Lori thought it was great. But yeah, I mean, we had a lot of positive feedback. There were just some concerns about tables and chairs. We're working with those on helping alleviate that and, advertising where handicap parking is to make it more accessible. And then obviously offering tables and chairs or some sort of area where they can sit safely and where it's comfortable. I'm trying to think of anything else. Okay. Yeah, I mean, we're really trying. So anything that was suggested, we'll have more trash cans this time. And restrooms were brought up as well. We even, for this last event, normally our bathrooms are old. I'll be honest. They're very old and they're small. And there's not really much I can do about it. But we cleaned them up and posted signs on all of our businesses that were open that night. There were four or five of us that were open. So we added additional bathrooms so people could go to the bathroom other than the splash pad and the park. So, yeah.
Okay. Questions, comments from?
I
Go
have
ahead.
comments. I was the one to ask to discuss this after the first event. And indeed, I did make comment on your page afterward that we did attend it and found it to be very well attended and lots of quite a variety of different events to attend, and we're very pleased with that. I also found parking for handicap right away. I don't know if everyone else did. I mean, it was come and go. We didn't find a handicap parking, but there was an open parking space available right away. So I hope that there was enough available for people. The only issue that I did want to bring up is that since that time, I have been contacted by a couple of other businesses on the other side of town and one over on this side that would not be accessible by having people come to them because of the location. And I said that, I just told those people that they needed to contact representatives from MAC, or if they wish to speak to the city council and somehow bring that up for conversation, because it needed to be looked at. Can that be resolved by having one at one end of the city, or does it need to be looked at differently? I don't know. I don't know how to, I'm not that creative at looking at it, but, so.
And we plan, just so you know too, we also plan, when we would do the barricades, we work with Paul from the city. He's wonderful. And he suggested putting the handicap signs along the barricades. So there were multiple, like 3 different access points for handicap parking, not just like a couple of spots. I don't think people paid attention because there was a road closure sign and then the handicap parking was like in front of it and it's smaller. So what we plan to do is make, we already made some social media posts about like camping chairs, different things like that to make it easier. Cause like on Parkview, another challenge, there's no cell service. It's so people were using like my Wi-Fi and Kate's Wi-Fi trying to get their Square machine reader, because not everyone brought cash. But then we also put on there that there's like ATMs, local ATMs, there's 2 on that block, and then Quick Trip, which is free. And we wanted to highlight that like with a drawing, probably what you guys gave us, not my hand drawing, to circle where there are handicap parking. So it's easy to get in and out, because we did have a couple of vendors that were handicapped as well. And we strategically put them by the barricades so they could park and literally be right at their spot.
Businesses at Milton Junction that were concerned.
2 of them were on the Milton Junction, and one was here, and then one was in the middle.
Okay,
So,
I can
so
speak with them. I'm actually going to talk to Tammy at Red Rooster tomorrow to talk about a big event we want to do, Shop Hop, the
Okay.
first weekend of October. I guess we assumed, and just didn't even think that they'd want to stay open late, but I'll talk to her and see if she's
okay,
of how we can include them too.
okay,
Because I work well with all the businesses in Milton.
okay. So, yeah, I can let you know.
Well, and they can plan their own stuff too.
Right. I mean,
Well-
if there's a distance.
Well, they
we'll
can, but
block.
I guess from our perspective, even as a community, do you want to have 4 different things going on?
Yeah.
I'm not sure that we do either every month. I don't know if there's some way to consolidate things, or
That's not also in our purview to dictate either.
it isn't, but
Sorry.
just from our perspective,
Restate that for the microphone. It's not in our purview to dictate that.
it isn't, but I also like them to discuss as a group what works best for our community.
We just want, to be honest, we just wanted to bring attention to our side of town, because that side of town, even, I mean, you can go back 100 years. It was the fun side of town. We were the dry side of town. It gets missed a lot because everyone knows Merchant Row and knows that area so well. And it is beautiful. It's just not a lot of people, other than, our Facebook followers and our loyal customers, really know how walkable and shoppable Goodrich Square is. And that's kind of just been our mission, is there is Merchant Row, and we actually have flyers in all of our shops that lists Merchant Row shops and our shops, so people know that there's 2 sides of town.
I personally created it.
Yep. And so,
All the businesses.
so you know what I mean. So we it's hard to get people there. That's the hard part in business, is you can have the greatest shop in the world, but you actually have to physically get people there. And this market does that, because I mean, I'll just tell you, my shop had a line from 4:00 until after 8:30, 9:00, and especially with the recession that's happening right now and inflation, yeah, I mean, it matters. It puts cleats on my child and basketball shoes on my other. I have 4, so that college bill is going to be fun. But yeah, I mean, it helps. It really does help.
Any other questions or comments from anyone?
Yeah, this is Bill. I just wanted to second what Teresa said in terms of attending and being able to find parking more easily than we thought, actually. And cars were coming and going, and we found parking nearby, and seemed to go very, very well.
I had a comment, something to think about. I realize financially it might not be feasible always, but you might add a couple porta potties in strategic locations just to take care of, if you've got that many people coming.
We actually looked at it, and it's
Yeah.
a couple $1,000s, and
Wow.
they have to leave them for 48 hours. And this is not to be mean. We just have a couple of underage children that like to vandalize our side of town that we've worked great with the police with. It's just I would just be afraid that someone would hurt themselves, or to be honest, there's actually been children I've taken care of that have actually fit inside the porta potty. And those chemicals, they can die from ingesting those chemicals. I just worry because they can't just drop them off and then remove them. They actually have to sit. It's their process, and they're very expensive. I didn't either. I honestly thought it would be a couple $100s, and
And we're not
that would be
charging
it.
vendor fees this year. We're doing this all out of our own pockets. Yeah. Oh, okay. I didn't know.
Maybe next year.
Next year, exactly.
Charge the vendors a little something
Yep.
because they're,
Do they have porta potties? I don't think they have porta potties at the Milton.
At the chicken
At the
barbecue.
chicken bar.
I think they do.
Do they?
I
Yeah.
think they
Yeah,
do.
they-
I
we did-
used to been there. And
Oh,
they
There's
did.
some more living history days too, but we've cut back on those because the price doubled in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
I'm not dictating you have to do that, I just think.
That's good because I don't
It's
think
a
you
great
can.
suggestion.
It is. Thank
Yeah,
you
We would
so
love to
much.
be able to.
Anything else from anybody?
I just want to echo, I was also there and I thought it was a great time and a lot of different vendors, and it was nice to see Lions and some of our local people doing Macy and those organizations. Also, I really appreciated that. I think that this is an awesome idea, and I'm actually kind of happy that it is the weekend of the pork roast, because it gives Milton a lot of stuff to do that particular weekend. And so I guess I do not have a problem with this site plan or the requests. I don't know if you're looking for a motion or not.
Sure.
I have a comment.
Eric.
Hi. Just real quick, sorry if it's windy. It gets terribly windy on the beach in Florida in the evening. I don't know if you can
Hang
hear
up
me.
on him. Larry, hang up on him right now.
Goodbye.
No, I just wanted to say I was not able to attend. I apologize, but the feedback I received was just awesome with the diverse groups that it drew and the different vendors. So commendations to everybody that put effort into setting up the event. And I'm in full support of the event. I'm in full support of the road closure. I actually played devil's advocate, and I called a number of building owners and businesses all along that street and asked if they had any problems, and if we were to continue this and have another one in August, if they would support it. And I didn't find anybody that was against it. So I'm all for it.
Thank you, Eric. You can hang up on him now. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just being silly. Okay, so I have to admit I was there too. And I had like the best beef brisket in my life.
He'll be back.
Yes.
He'll be back. There's
So-
other fun stuff
With
there.
I loved it. I went like right at the beginning because I was really hungry.
Smart.
Like I talk about my appetite all the time. So yeah, it was great. It was hot, but it
Very
was
hot.
a warm day. But
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I was overwhelmed with the amount of people there. So
It was an incredible night for Milton. I had
It was a big
goosebumps
deal.
walking around talking.
yeah. All right, so that's all I have.
Yeah.
Is there a motion?
I will make a motion that we approve the special event permit application for the Milton Night Market as presented.
Second.
Mark?
And you're including in that waiver of the fees?
Did you waive the fees last time? I don't think you did. Or did
Yes.
you?
There was not actually a motion. The motion did not include the waiver of fees. However, because there was that question of what those fees were going to what those would even be, that we did not at that point keep track of those costs.
Okay.
This time we should waive it.
We'll
That
waive
is
it or
a-
not
So
waive it.
We'll
Yes.
waive the fee.
Should or should not waive it. Make a choice.
Do you want to know what we do, just so you know, like what the like we do it all. Like I normally hand out lunch, like goodie bags to people that bring them, and then we disperse them ourselves. Like I don't have them do anything; they just drop them off, and then we take care of them and follow the rules that were given to us.
Mark, were there any issues with DPW that you heard about?
You said she was willing to waive the fees.
I know. Turn your mic on if you want to be heard.
I'll waive the fees with that motion.
And if it was my second we went with, then I agree with that.
Is everybody clear on what they're voting on? Eric, Bill, put the cocktail down. Any questions?
I'm fine.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone
Aye,
opposed?
Eric, aye, Bill.
Is there anyone opposed? All right, that motion carries, and we'll see you all at the market in August. Good luck and congratulations. All right, discussion and possible action regarding denial of 2022-2023 operator license for Priscilla Clark.
An application for a provisional and regular operator's license for 2022 to 2023, essentially a bartender's license, was submitted by Priscilla Clark. And after review, the application was denied in the background check. It was based off the alcohol beverage operator license guidelines that are listed on the back of the application. So the reason was 2 or more alcohol or drug-related convictions in 5 years, and it is recommended to go to the council for denial of the operator's license. And Priscilla is in the audience this evening.
Sorry, I'm so nervous right now.
Breathe in and out and give us your first and last name and address. You'll be fine.
Priscilla Clark, 119 South Crescent Drive, Milton, Wisconsin. I basically just came in tonight to ask if you guys would reconsider. I am actually in the process of carrying out a probation sentence, starting and finishing out, which is also going to require me to take drug and alcohol assessment classes and finish it complete into the requirements, and that would actually expunge some of those charges, as well as getting the OWI taken care of as well. I'm having another person that's helping me take care of that. I don't know if classes are going to be required for that, but I am working on being better. This is all kind of just recent. My daughter passed in December last year. So otherwise, before this, I don't really have any prior history of drinking or getting into trouble while driving, stuff like that. So that's kind of the biggest reason for it all. Doesn't make it okay, and I know that. But I am trying to do better, and I'm assuming that probation is definitely going to help, considering I can't do all that. But I love bartending, and I love the people that I'm going to be working with, and they are aware of my history that I have. I did let Abby know of some of my convictions that are on there, and she said that she's still more than happy to have me if you guys would reconsider. So that's all I have.
Thank you. Any comments, Chief, Jenny? Any further comments on anything? Everything is in the memo.
Everything's in the memo, and the application is also in there, and Ms. Clark filled out all of the charges that she's had over the last couple of years. And so this was a denial strictly based upon the language in the application and our process that says 2 or more within 5 years, and we recommend denial. I don't have any supplementary information on top of that.
And I do have my thing from my lawyer, who I actually go see tomorrow, about these incidents that caused my denial. So that's when we are sentencing of the 18 months probation with, upon full completion, having the 2 counts charged and 1 dismissed.
Any questions or comments from anyone? So it's been denied. Is there any action that
Well,
it's been denied, true?
Actually, so it's based on the guidelines, it has been denied. However, based on the language that's included in the application, it says that, it's recommended to council for denial. So this,
That's-
yep, so with that, then you, council would be making the decision to approve or deny the final decision.
My heart goes out to you. However, our hands are kind of tied at this point.
Understandably.
What I was wondering is, could I recommend that after your sentencing and after your convictions are settled out and you complete the treatment program, that you might come back and reapply, and we'll see how that all goes, because part of your probation might require you not to attend bar too. I don't know that, but
I did let him know that I was going to be looking to get my bartending license, my lawyer, and he didn't mention anything regarding not being able to. So I'm assuming they, as long as, because probation, you can't drink and stuff, and you have to check in for the first 3 months every week, I believe. So, but I understand.
And ultimately, once that's, once you go through that, we would need all that in writing.
So you've been convicted, or are the charges pending?
The charges are pending. We
Okay.
haven't fully gone through it. That's what my court date for tomorrow is at 1:30, is making my decision whether I wanted to do the 1 year and keep the convictions, the 2 convictions, and then the other one would be dismissed, or the 18 months, and the 2 would be expunged, and the 1 would just be dismissed.
Okay.
So
Thanks for
everything would be
clarifying.
off.
I do have to say, I'm very impressed with all that you're doing. You've undergone a very, very difficult experience with the loss of your child, and I encourage you to continue. So,
Is there a motion?
Question maybe for the chief here. Or actually maybe kind of both. You said that these aren't necessarily convictions yet.
No, they are not.
Okay. Because our language somewhat ties to convictions. So does that put a different spin on it, chief, or?
Perhaps. I didn't parse out which are convictions and which are simply charges. I guess I'll ask Priscilla.
I believe they're just charges currently, and not actual.
Yeah. So of the list that you provided, which alcohol related are convictions, or are they all pending?
I believe the ones that are alcohol related are just all pending currently.
So like, I think there was an open intoxicant one.
That for my OWI.
I don't remember. I'd have to go back and look through all of it. Check here. And the THC possessions, are those all pending as well?
No, I believe those are all actually done.
So those are finished?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the language, you're correct, Ryan, in that there are pending cases without conviction in some. The language talks about drug and alcohol, and we have convictions, at least on the THC charges. So, but I did not split out which alcohol ones are charged or are completed and convicted or not. I haven't done that.
That's fine. Just wanted to try to clarify, give it an understanding.
And just to add for clarification there, that it's been interpreted that being a habitual law offender doesn't necessarily require a conviction.
Does it require that you be charged as a habitual offender and convicted of it? It doesn't. Is that
No,
what you're saying?
it doesn't require a charge of habitual offender. It just requires charges, a number of charges. And as the chief indicated, generally for purposes of a operator's license, you're looking at alcohol related, which would either be alcohol or drug normally related charges and convictions. So
I know that there's a question between the drug and the alcohol and the things that we have listed on here, but it seems to me that you have done an excellent job of trying to pull yourself out of all of this, and especially with the circumstances with your child. That's just incredible. Didn't we previously have someone that was going through rehab who we ended up offering, that we actually ended up giving them their license after they completed their rehab? Does anybody else remember that?
Yes, that was quite some time ago.
Yeah.
I remember,
But they had it completed.
but I don't remember the details.
It was a young man that was already partially into his rehab with alcohol, and he currently was already bartending, and but he had to complete before we would actually give him the license, and I think Larry and someone else. Guy that was here that is no longer with us, but had said that had to complete the rehab that he was in before we would allow the licensure.
But if it's denied tonight at another, is there a time frame before she could reapply?
I'm not aware of one. I don't think there's any thresholds. The rules remain the same about the 5 years and the convictions. So that it would come to you again, I guess I would say that, for a reevaluation at whichever point. If you deny tonight and she reapplies, again, the thresholds that Jenny and I have to bring it to you are already met. And then a further discussion can happen here on whether to deny or not.
And I would concur, I'm not aware of a restriction as far as when she could reapply the next time.
So is there a motion?
Okay, I would move that we deny the 2022-2023 operator's license application for Priscilla Clark.
Is there a second?
And just to note that per statute, then you just need to state the basis for the denial so that Jenny can provide a written notice to Priscilla. You'll know, obviously you're here, but you'll be getting a written notice which lets you know specifically why it would be denied at this point.
Okay, based on Wisconsin State Statute 111.321, no?
No, that is the Fair Employment Act, so that just means you can't, it needs to be related to the reason why they're applying for the license. That's why the focus is on alcohol and drug related. So if you were going to deny, I think one way would be to say motion to deny at this time based upon, for the reasons stated by the police chief and city clerk in their memo.
Thank you.
Is there a second?
Eric seconded.
Eric seconded. Did you hear that,
Second.
Eric?
Did you hear it okay, Eric?
Yes, I did.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Hi, this is Bill.
Is there anyone opposed? Okay, that, the motion carries and the license is denied. Okay.
Again, I would encourage you to reapply when you've completed all of that.
Yes, please do.
Thank you.
Discussion and possible action regarding replacement of the biosolids waste activated sludge.
The treatment plant, the last upgrades were completed in 2001. Kind of heard this before, but it's been 20 plus years since there's been major work. So this is another item that the operators use fairly regularly to send biosolids to an additional storage tank. When the last improvements were made, there was a new tank built for biosolids, but as the city has seen additional flow to the treatment plant, they've had to use some tanks that were retrofitted at the time for additional storage, and these valves allow for the storage to be, or the flow to be diverted to use those tanks. Wastewater staff obtained 3 quotes for the biosolids valve replacement. The lowest quote was provided by Crane Engineering, and Crane Engineering has also completed projects previously at the wastewater treatment plant. The total quote to replace the 4 biosolids valves is $12,578 and will be funded by the wastewater utility.
Any questions or comments or a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the biosolid valve replacement quote from Crane Engineering not to exceed $12,578.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any questions or comments or anything from anyone? All those in favor say aye.
Hi, this is Bill.
Is there anyone opposed? All right, that motion carries. General items. Bill and Eric, who are you designating to eat your ice cream sandwich tonight?
Larry.
I'll give mine to Fat Knuckle Larry.
Oh! Good. When they gained 10 pounds, we knew who to blame now. All right. That was my committee report. Now, anybody have a committee report that they would like to share? Inga?
Sorry. So this is on, right? Okay.
Well, I don't know if it's on, but the red light's on.
Okay. So with Story Gardens, just wanted to give an update on all the progress that we've been making over the last couple weeks. Thanks to Public Works staff, the archway is now in place at Story Gardens and it's beautiful. The library is running a contest to try and name the 3 birds that are perched on the branches there. So we'll see what comes of that. I suggested Edgar, Allan, and Poe to Ashley today. We'll see where that goes. And then we have Amy Leonard. She's a local artist. She is working on a piece on site at the library on one of the circle pads that were poured. And it's a project that's through Project Maria. So it's going to be a beautiful piece. I'm excited to see that happen. I feel like there was one other thing, and if Ashley was here, she would remind me. But we're moving along.
And there might be a picture someday.
Yes, we're gonna try and coordinate something for City Hall Selfie Day at the Archway. And we're still working with Stockness Builders on trying to coordinate some kind of a build day for the gazebo outdoor programming space. So if anyone's interested in assisting with that, please contact Ashley or I and we can get you in touch with Stockness Builders.
Perfect. Ryan.
Historic Preservation meets tomorrow.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay, all right. Staff reports. Mark E.
We were notified last week that we received around 1.4 million in bill funding. Those are the grant applications that we submitted earlier this year. So we're working through the details of what's required to use that money and where where we want to spend it. We have 3 streets we applied for, so we won't be able to do all 3, but I'm trying to figure out which one we'd be doing, so.
Nice. Kelsey?
Just working through the beginning of the budget process, but that's about it right now.
All right. Chief?
We have presented a conditional offer of employment to a potential police department member. That conditional offer means that they have to go through all of our medical processes, like the psychological, drug testing, physical, lifting test, hearing test, all of those things. Provided all those things are passed, then we'll be presenting that candidate with a final offer, and we'll start talking a start date. That's to fill the opening in our department right now. As you might recall, you approved us for an additional position, and we are currently conducting a background investigation on a candidate for that position, and hope that goes as smoothly. So I'll report back on our progress.
Awesome. Is that everybody? Inga?
I guess just quick, we do have the position still open for the planning and zoning coordinator position that was approved by council. And then we also have a crew person position open with Public Works right now as well. Both positions are full-time.
Jenny, anything? I'm not ignoring you. I'm
that's
not
okay.
calling you
I'm
Kelsey.
okay with that.
I'm doing better.
I'm okay with that. I just had an update as a reminder. The election is Tuesday, August 9th. Right now, our absentee ballots, we have 334 absentee ballots, which includes 40 that were voted in person. So in-person absentee continues till Friday, August 5th. And that's all I have is all kinds of election stuff we're getting ready for.
And when's the last date you can vote in person absentee?
That'd be Friday, August 5th at 5 p.m.
Okay. And are there some people that did not return their absentee ballots yet?
Yes. 334 were issued. Oh, I said that completely wrong. 334 were issued, including 40 in person. And so we have 200, so the remaining are the ones that have not been returned.
Okay.
So that's where we're at this point.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Gotcha. And you can register the day of to vote.
Can register the day of to vote, yes.
Okay.
And you can register up till Friday in the office. And
Online? Is Friday the deadline online? to
online
register to
was
vote?
for registering to vote online. That ended on July 20th. That was
Okay.
open registration.
Okay. So it's all in person.
All in person.
All right.
Yes, but you can still request an absentee ballot by mail until Thursday.
Okay. I got that.
And
You want to trust the postal service to get it to you on time.
But
Yes.
you can hand deliver it.
you can hand deliver your own ballot.
Your own ballot.
Your own ballot. So,
Good luck voting. Try
okay,
not
if
to
you
come.
have any questions, please reach out.
Yes. Yes. All right. Our next meeting date is August 16th. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you for facilitating.
And thank you for donating your ice cream sandwiches. Is there anyone opposed? Okay, we're adjourned for ice cream sandwiches. Thank you very much. Enjoy whatever you're doing. Hang up on him. Hurry up, Larry. Hang up.